Singapore's largest bank, DBS, is not allowed to acquire new business ventures or downsize its local branches and ATM networks for 6 months. The Monetary Authority of Singapore says the bank must also suspend all non-essential changes to its IT systems. This after what MAS calls repeated and prolonged disruptions in the bank's services this year. MAS says the measures are to ensure the bank dedicates enough resources to strengthening its technology risk management systems and controls. They're also aimed at making sure customers can still visit branches and use ATMs in the event of any further disruptions. MAS will review the progress made by DBS at the end of the 6 months. It may extend the duration of the measures or take further actions at that point. Now, in a statement, DBS apologized for the series of disruptions. The bank says it's addressing the issues with, quote, utmost priority. The lender also pledges to limit downtime of key services like domestic payments to an average of 1.5 hours over a 3-month period. It's also committed to recovering any affected services within 3 hours in the next 6 months. DBS says it will ensure there are alternative means to fulfill customers' banking needs when any service or channel is temporarily unavailable. This includes opening branches on Sundays and public holidays.
Well, we spoke with about the DBS outages with MAS Chief Ravi Menon earlier. Now, here's what he had to say in his interview with CNA's Elizabeth Neo and Tan Kiwi.
Maybe I'll call out the elephant in the room. Why are people so upset? Why are we so upset? Because the largest bank in the country, which has the largest number of customers, has unfortunately had more disruptions. Much more disruptions. If you remove that from the picture, I don't think it is going to look anywhere as bad. Unfortunately, they've had several outages in just the last 12 months. And they've also taken longer to recover, which I think adds to the inconvenience. And the MAS has said, this is unacceptable. You have to fix it. We've been working very closely with them. The board and senior management of DBS is taking this very seriously. They're going through this at great depth. They know this is a huge issue, and they need to fix it. There are some deeper-seated issues that need to be resolved, and they will be. But the good thing is they are committed. And this is a digitally strong bank with some problems that need to fix on their IT architecture, but it is a digitally strong bank, so they can do it.
And joining us to analyse this development is Dr. Tan Kiwi. He's Chief Economist at MP Funds, which provides trading tools and coaching for traders. Dr. Tan, thanks very much for joining us this evening. First off, let's assess the severity of the consequences. On the surface, at least, it sounds quite serious. What's your view?
Well, it is serious because, it has happened twice in March and April, May this year. It happened, and of course, again, last week. But then I would say this is not the first time for any bank. All systems break down. It's just that maybe DBS has been unlucky to have many such breakdowns. And the last big one was about 2 years ago, in November 21. And that was when, a few months later, MAS imposed a capital requirement of 1.5 billion. So I say it's unlucky for them because, look, what happened last few days was that the data center broke down. And that's from Equinox. Equinix is one of the 2 biggest data centers. If they can't do it, what can DBS do about it?
You put it in context, right? You mentioned the capital requirement from the previous disruptions, and you look at today's ruling that they're not allowed to make acquisitions, keep their branches open, etc. Weighing those two, is this a very harsh signal that MAS is sending?
It is. First of all, basically, MAS is telling DBS, like maybe a doctor will tell a mother, look, you can't take care of a kid, don't have another kid. Okay? So basically, if DBS cannot get their house in order, please don't go into any business. Now, how will it hit the DBS? Well, look at past 2 times, in November 21, and in fact, the last week, DBS prices have come down a bit, but not much, about $1. But if, let's say, DBS is about to go into a business venture, then this will actually pull the share price down even for the next few days. So that's the thing. But I don't think DBS has any pressing business ventures, so no problem there.
Is that the extent of the impact, though? Because we heard MAS not mincing their words there. They were really straight about it. Yeah. So, and then we have these limitations that have been imposed, as John talked about. acquisitions, which you put a question mark on, digitalization, but now they also can't reduce their branch and ATM networks as well.
That's because if you can't perfect your, then let those with piggy banks, with money, cash, continue to use your branches. And because I think most banks are cutting down the branches because maybe manpower shortage or they want to do more internet banking. So MAS telling you don't do that until you sort out your digital business.
Okay.
Just thinking as well, I mean, given the uncertain economic climate and how organizations generally have to be a bit nimble in order to adapt to changes in the economy, not just here but overseas as well, how does this hamstring DBS a bit in perhaps transformation plans or even just being adaptive?
It does, of course. But you see, every few months, there's a beauty contest. All the banks will come and tell us how great we've done. Okay? And of course, as management of DBS, I want to make my profits higher. And of course, shareholders are ultimately responsible. We want more, cheaper, more profits. And so, of course, they'll think of something. But of course, now the solution, it seems, is to have more backups that cost more, hire more IT people. But that's the only way.
That leads to the next question, because MAS says, we're going to come and review you in 6 months' time, right? We want to see how far you've come or not. So, and then decide if further action will be taken. So if you were DBS, how would you prioritize what you'd be doing in the next 6 months?
Well, I'll definitely beef up my IT sector. Check the vendors. I mean, if let's say Equinix is not good, then get the other bigger one, so get two. I mean, it's going to cost money, but it's not good for reputation of DBS or Singapore. Yeah. But then, of course, it's just little glitch to me. I mean, if DBS lose billions and it can't recover, that is a bigger hit than just a few IT.
I understand, but then, DBS chairman Peter Seah coming out to say that senior management will be held accountable.
Oh, that's too bad for them.
So what do you think that accountability looks like?
Well,
where does the buck stop?
Well, the senior managers, either the heads will rule or the vendors' heads will rule. I mean, that's business. Yeah, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, so looking at this from the macro view, right, DBS being Singapore's biggest lender and, juxtaposing that with Singapore's push for digitalization and then, further down the line, this whole digitalization of our banking system. People look at that and will people think, maybe, Singapore's not quite ready, or maybe, there are things that need to be sorted out first before, we go full throttle into this endeavor?
Well, I agree. I mean, there's a big PR disaster, fairly big. I mean, a lot of people might be thinking, oh, well, maybe I shouldn't just bank with DBS. I'll try ABC Bank, just in case DBS doesn't allow me to pay. But then I suppose all the banking system, MAS, DBS, will have to the next few months or years build up their confidence that, look, our system is great. No one will complain. And that will take some time. But I don't see it's a big hit. I mean, it's just nobody lost money. Of course, some people maybe lost a bit of money, but it's not like DBS went to something and lost billions. Then all shareholders are affected. No, it's not that bad. That will really affect the confidence of Singapore banking system. Yeah.
Dr. Tan, thanks very much for sharing your perspectives with us. We've been speaking there with Dr. Tan Kiwi. He's Chief Economist at MP Funds, and that's a funded trader program.